Hello everyone and welcome to my prediction video for the 2020 Money in the Bank WWE pay-per-view, which will be taking place tomorrow, Sunday, May 10th on Mother's Day, streaming exclusively on the WWE Network. So right now we only have about, I'm going to go back to the pictures in just a second. I'm going to count correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 matches right now, according to WWE.com. So, that being all said, let's get into the matches. So, first up, this is our pre-show match. The pre-show will start at 6 o'clock Eastern on WWE Network. Will also be on YouTube and Facebook. So our pre-show match will be Jeff Hardy taking on Cesaro. I'd say Jeff Hardy wins, and then they build up the rivalry for him taking on Sheamus, because they did a good job on SmackDown recently with that. So Jeff Hardy will win. Don't need to dissect it even more, but the Zayn faction will take a loss. So for Sami Zayn, he's going to feel disappointed. Okay, RTruth taking on MVP. This is a clown match. I don't see any point in even having it. But maybe RTruth wins, because Vince McMahon still, I guess, has a close friendship with RTruth. So why not make that happen? Okay, let's get to the main matches, shall we? Okay, SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Now, I want to go on the record and say that I am very annoyed with how they couldn't put the Viking Raiders taking on the current Raw Tag Team Champion Street Profits. I mean, come on, that would have been a good match. Okay, Lucha House Party with Forgotten Sons, Miz and Morrison, and The New Day. Fatal 4-way match for the Tag Team Championships. In my opinion, it's too soon to put the titles on Forgotten Sons. Lucha House Party is just clowns. I don't even know why they're there. Everybody knows my despair for The New Day. They're the boring day because it's the same stupid gimmick. Ended already. Nobody really wants to see it anymore. So I do feel bad for Morrison and The Miz. Eventually, they're going to have to figure out what could happen down the line. I personally want to see a rivalry with Daniel Bryan and Drew Gulak and The Miz and Morrison down the line. So why not? New tag team champions will be, and for the third time, believe it or not, The Miz and John Morrison. SmackDown Women's Championship. Bayley, who has held the belt since October, will be taking on Tamina Snuka. Now, of course, Tamina is the daughter of the late WWE Hall of Famer Jimmy Superfly Snuka. So this is a big deal for Tamina. I think Tamina has looked strong recently. I would love to see the Women's Championship on her. So therefore, your new SmackDown Women's Champion will be Tamina Snuka. Universal Championship. The Monster Among Men, Braun Strowman, going back to his old roots with the Wyatt family, taking on Bray Wyatt. Now, the only issue I'm confused about is he facing The Fiend, or is he just facing Bray Wyatt? Because we've only seen Bray Wyatt without his Fiend image wrestle. It's only happened once. And that was when he faced The Miz last year. So, I'm just assuming it's Firefly Bray. But, I'm sorry to say this, but Bray is not winning this match. I've been hearing rumors that they're trying to get Roman Reigns to come back. I know there's a whole controversy with Roman Reigns, and maybe down the line I'll get into it, but Eventually, Roman Reigns is coming back. Eventually. I'm assuming he is because, again, that's their big draw for SmackDown. And people wondering, where's Roman Reigns? Well, we're not going to get into that, but Strowman has to win because that rivalry with Roman Reigns is technically not done. It's never been done. So, Braun Strowman retains the Universal Championship. Down the line, maybe, I don't know, closer to SummerSlam, you could see a Roman Reigns Braun Strowman match, which, for all likely intents and purposes, maybe SummerSlam is without a crowd this year. You don't know how long with this pandemic going around. Okay, over on Raw. So I pretty much predicted a lot of SmackDown matches, and I know the other corny match was from Raw with RTruth and MVP. Now going on to Raw, we have Drew McIntyre defending the WWE Championship against Seth Rollins, the Monday Night Messiah. I guess they can just kiss Brock Lesnar goodbye unless Vince has an excellent plan to bring back Brock, which I'll get into last year's disgust in just a second with the Money in the Bank match from last year. Okay, so I like this match. It looks very good on paper. You have the new WWE champion. He's been champion for a month after winning at WrestleMania, taking on the Monday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, a former WWE champion. So, could go either way. I mean, I'm kind of creeped out by Seth Rollins' promos. I understand he's a heel, and I get that, but I don't need to win the WWE Championship. Then why are you even fighting Drew McIntyre right now? You know, McIntyre waited so long to get this opportunity, and I know he won the Royal Rumble in January, which I knew it was going to happen. But, come on, you really think they're just going to make McIntyre lose the belt like that to Seth Rollins unless maybe whoever wins that night cashes in? You never know, but McIntyre retains. Sorry, Seth Rollins. I know you were that desperate to regain the WWE Championship even though you don't claim it, but we move on. Okay, so let's go to the women's Money in the Bank match. Here's who we have right now. Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax, Asuka, Dana Brooke, Lacey Evans, and Carmella. So with this match, you only have one person who has won Money in the Bank. That, of course, was, in fact, Carmella. She was the first ever women's Money in the Bank winner. To me right now, if I had a choice to honestly pick the winner of the match, I think it's going to be Nia. And here's the reason why I think Nia's going to win. Because, look at it this way. The man Becky Lynch is missing in action. We rarely see her anymore. And it's like, we need some sort of excitement. What are you going to do? Make Shayna Baszler win the briefcase? I mean, what would be the point? And down the line, you know, SmackDown can figure out their own situation in the women's division, but for the Raw things, I think Nia needs to win. I think Nia has been desperate, and again, I'm very happy she came back the night after WrestleMania, which was a big deal. And the way things look, Nia is still dominant. The injury hasn't held her back. And I think she's going to win the briefcase. So, your winner of 2020 Women's Money in the Bank match will be the irresistible force, Nia Jax. Now let's go over to men's things. Daniel Bryan taking on Aleister Black, Rey Mysterio, King Corbin, Otis from Heavy Machinery, and AJ Styles. Now, let's go into a background for a second because many people are confused why AJ Styles is in this match. What happened to Apollo Crews? Well, 2 weeks ago on Raw, he was in a match, he got injured. Doctors told him he needed to take a break. Medical staff told him that. So there was a gauntlet match back on Monday Night Raw. This past Monday, I watched the gauntlet match. I thought it was an excellent match, in my opinion. I really thought Bobby Lashley was going to win, just because they put up all these weak opponents. And then I think Humberto Carrillo won one of the matches. Angel Garza came out. Austin Theory came out. And I noticed something was off on USA Network. I noticed that there was an AJ Styles promo with Dairy Queen. And I'm like, are they going to bring AJ Styles out? And I'm like, oh boy, now things get interesting. And I think it was Humberto Carrillo and AJ Styles, the last two men in that match. And AJ won. Now, the last time we saw AJ was that video that they aired from WrestleMania when he took on The Undertaker in the graveyard match in Florida. So, I do feel bad for Alistair back being put in this situation. I do feel bad for Daniel Bryan. I do feel bad for Otis. I specifically feel more bad for Rey Mysterio. I mean, hello, Rey Mysterio, 10 years ago, won the World Heavyweight Championship, and Kane cashed in the same night in 2010. So right now, I'm going to make this bold prediction. I think it's either going to be AJ Styles or King Corbin. Now, hear me out on this. For the Raw side of things, if AJ wins, down the line you could see a rivalry with McIntyre. I think that would be excellent to go down the line later this year. Or, who knows, maybe the same night Styles cashes in or something. Well, we don't really know the situation, because I'll get to my last point in just a second. With Baron Corbin, King Corbin, I feel bad for him. I know he's a heel. I get all the stuff he did to Roman Reigns was inappropriate on national TV. And I know he did that thing when the spectators were allowed, when he dropped that drink on the fan's head. But hear me out with Corbin. All right? You botched the cash-in on SmackDown in 2017 when he won the briefcase. And I think a lot of people in the wrestling community, especially that big wrestling demographic of 18 to 34-year-olds like me, do feel pity for Baron Corbin from 3 years ago. So, who knows? Maybe he cashes in on Strowman in the future. Or something happens down the line where they reinvigorate the Roman Reigns rivalry. So, my prediction's either going to be AJ Styles or Baron Corbin who wins this match. So, one last point I want to make. The Money in the Bank matches, the men's and the women's, will be taking place in Connecticut. They've already been taped, but we do not know where the other matches are going to be. I'm assuming most likely they took place in Orlando because everything was pre-taped beforehand. My dad's in the background, everyone. I do apologize. But it could be Connecticut, could be Florida. We don't know yet. So, WWE Network, 6 o'clock pre-show Eastern, followed by the main show at 7 p.m. If you're wondering if it's going to be on satellite TV, the bad news is this pay-per-view, once again, will only be on WWE Network. So, thank you all for watching, and until the next one, please take care.